You're watching Global Toronto. This is Global News at 6.
Show support in Hamilton today, 1 week after a mob of vandals caused $100,000 in damage. They marched down Locke Street, smashing windows and setting off fireworks. But the businesses affected, as well as the community, aren't breaking. Erica Vella has more from Love Locke Day.
The windows may be boarded up, but it's not stopping the messages of support from pouring in.
It's just so encouraging.
On Saturday, the sidewalks were filled with people coming from all over Hamilton.
Obviously, being Hamiltonians, we wanted to come and support a lot of local businesses and people who work really hard and just show our love for Locke Street.
And that love was seen everywhere you walk, with this simple message, #LoveLocke.
You know, no matter what happened last weekend, we're supporting our community, and we are saying to folks who would try to intimidate us, we won't be intimidated.
1 week ago, a group of approximately 30 people were marching down this street. They were vandalizing storefronts and carrying a sign that said, "We are the ungovernables." Police have since linked them to an anarchist book fair that was happening that same weekend.
We're following up the lead that we did find there, and at this point we're not ready to speak to that, but of course as the evidence comes out, then we will.
The reality is that if they have anything to do with it, the potential is that someone's going to get caught, and hopefully we will bring those folks to justice. You're entitled to have an ideology, but you're not entitled to harm property and threaten people or terrorize neighborhoods.
Rebecca Tomasic watched her store being damaged by the masked vandals.
It took a minute to register that it was something so violent and angry, and I was sitting in my car on the street watching them throw the rock and hammer and in a state of shock.
But that shock has now subsided, and Tomasic says her feelings have now come full circle.
It was such a shocking event when it happened, but now we feel so buoyed by the community. It's fantastic.
I guess business is pretty good today, huh?
And while community members are taking a positive twist on what was a senseless crime, still, for many, one question lingers.
Whoever did this has not stepped forward and made any, statement of, this is why, this is what we want, this is where we think we should be going.
But as they wait for those answers, they say they will continue to bind together to stand up against the violence with #LoveLocke. Erica Vella, Global News.
A major show of support in Hamilton today as the community came together to show some love for a neighborhood hit by vandals. Last weekend, a mob in black went on a rampage, damaging businesses in the popular Locke Street area. As CTV's Andrea Horwath reports, people in the city refuse to be intimidated.
Lineups spill out the door and around the block at businesses that were randomly vandalized a week ago.
Last week was a lot of questions, and people were just really unsure about what it meant, and I think that the community has decided to flip it into something positive.
I thought I need to be supportive of the businesses and the people, and I hope nothing like this ever happens in any other community.
Last Saturday, this masked mob broke windows and set off fireworks on Locke Street, creating $100,000 in damages. Hamilton police are investigating a link to an anarchist book fair taking place last weekend.
We don't think this is right. Clearly the community doesn't.
My heart just broke watching it.
Rebecca Tomasic had just left her business when the group approached and smashed in the windows, but fear has since been replaced by gratitude.
It's about the city, it's about the community, and they've been fantastic.
Today was declared Love Locke Day, and even the youngest residents came out showing their support, one donut at a time.
I want to tell people that you shouldn't have done that.
The community rallying together and helping one another out.
People that can't afford to pay the insurance extra money, so the city of Hamilton, under the BIA Act, they will pay the rest.
The messages of love and support are evident all across Locke Street, from the poles to the sidewalks. And the community hopes it's one that the vandals hear loud and clear.
Their anarchistic damage was ineffective. The folks have actually doubled up here in terms of their resilience and come out in strength.
And Beauty, a Hamilton artist donating these murals to the Beverly.
From something bad, we noticed that a lot of goodness has come.
We're proud of our community, and we support our small businesses, and they're part of our community.
The incident happened in Horwath's own neighborhood. So far, police say the anarchist book fair linked to the vandalism isn't cooperating. Andrea Horwath, CTV News.
The lineup goes around the block. The wait, nearly an hour to get inside this donut shop. There's little doubt that business is booming. A completely different scene from just a week ago, when a roving band of masked vandals marched down Locke Street, an area full of small, family-run businesses. The mob set off fireworks, smashed storefronts, leaving more than $100,000 worth of damage for owners to clean up. Especially in a blue-collar town built on labor, the damage, they say, was personal.
Especially mom and pop type of businesses where you work 12, 14 hours a day, and then all at once things like that happen without any reason at all.
The boarded up windows are now the canvas for messages of support on a day they've dubbed Love Locke. Last weekend, it was vandals roaming up and down Locke Street. Today, it's Hamiltonians showing their support for small businesses, some of them dealing with it with a bit of humor. NDP leader and Hamilton MPP Andrea Horwath also showed her support.
To try to, in some way, paint our small businesses as unwelcome and our small business owners as not a key components of a healthy community is simply wrong-headed.
Hamiltonians here say they won't be cowed by the vandals.
It has the opposite of the intended effect of that the vandals, wanted. It didn't hurt Locke Street. Well, it did in a way, but now it just generates even greater interest about the area.
Hamilton is resilient, and they absolutely can turn something that is negative and frightening into something that's just unbelievably positive, overwhelming.
An anarchy group in Hamilton says no tears will be shed for these businesses, but it hasn't claimed responsibility for the vandalism. Police are still investigating.
There's support from the people who live here and work here. They want to be governed by the rule of law.
Hamiltonians now looking past the damage towards rebuilding again. Adrian Chung, CBC News, Hamilton.
Singing a song for community. I'm Adrian Gabriel. A week ago today, vandals marched right up Locke Street here in Hamilton, leaving a path of destruction in their wake. Today, hundreds of members of this city came out to sing a different tune. That was the scene here on Locke Street in Hamilton a week ago today. This hour, as you can see behind me, hundreds have come out to show their support for community, to take back their streets and deliver their own message.
You're entitled to have an ideology, but you're not entitled to harm property and threaten people or terrorize neighborhoods.
Good, how are you? Good.
Today, Hamiltonians showed their support with their feet and their wallets, pulling out the sting still lingering from last week's violent spree and sinking their teeth into the sweet taste of unity.
I think it's fantastic. I've been down on this street since 9 o'clock this morning, and it's been nonstop action.
The scene wasn't so easy to stomach a week ago today, with masked vandals marching through the core, clashing with police and busting shop windows. Though in a stroke of genius, the donut monster baked up a lemonade donut today. It featured broken candied glass on top with lemon filling, with all proceeds going to a worthy cause.
We're putting all of the sales of those towards housing initiatives in Hamilton. Make lemonade, that's what I say.
It was a much more desolate scene outside of Hamilton's so-called anarchist social space, The Tower. This is the group tied to last week's local book fair that police have linked to the destructive demo. We knocked on their door. No dice, but the group did post a lengthy statement on Facebook that in part reads, "The actions on Locke and Aberdeen on Saturday night were not organized by the Tower, but yes, we support what happened and are in solidarity with those who carried them out. Class war is happening every day in this city, with constant attacks on poor and working people." Going on to say, "We have zero tears to shed for Locke Street." You hear words like that, what goes through your mind?
You can't support violence like this. It's uncalled for. It's unjustified.
The local woodworker Mike Willoughby believes those responsible for last weekend's destructive protest succeeded in delivering their message.
They got lots of coverage on it. Is it the right message to deliver, or how do you present a message? Peaceful protests?
What do they accomplish? Look at all the people here today.
I can understand their message. I'm a millennial growing up in a world in which it's not really made for me. I can't buy a house. It's not even like on my radar. But I'm not going to throw a rock through a window to talk about that point.
As for the investigation, Hamilton's chief of police says organizers of last week's anarchist book fair are not cooperating.
If you had a message for those who took place in this destructive behavior, what would it be?
I think really you just have to look to what you've just indicated, which are the messages from the community about how they feel. That's what's important. This is a community. This is about people who live and work here, and the messages are clearly written up on the boards.
Just some of the messages read, no hate in Hamilton, not for anyone, share peace. To the people who did this, we win. So where do things go from here? Well, many I've spoken with today say this whole ordeal has shined a light on the need to have some hard but important conversations, though those conversations need to happen on a constructive level. I'm Adrian Gobriel for City News.